This week on HomeKit News, SmartWings blinds with Matter and Thread. Welcome back everybody. Before we look at today's product, if you haven't heard of them, SmartWings is a company that specialises in window coverings with products that cover roller shades, cellular or honeycomb shades, zebra shades, woven wood shades, and even outdoor and dual shade motors. We're looking at some roller shades today, but there's no packaging to look at, so let's move on to what's in the box. First off, there are a bunch of manuals covering everything from installation and setup to Matter basics and the remote. Quite impressive. There's a remote control, which is an optional extra, although one I'd recommend adding. This is a 5-channel remote to control up to 5 blinds, available in black or white, but you can also get a 15-channel remote too if you want. There's also an included USB-A to USB-C cable to recharge the battery inside the motor for the blinds. Some screws are also provided for fitting the blinds, but now to the blinds themselves. As you can see, this motor is Matter compatible, so it works with all platforms, although at the time of this video, Amazon doesn't support window coverings in Matter. This is also a Thread-enabled device, so for the best experience you're going to need a Thread border router like these in the Apple HomeKit ecosystem. For these particular blinds, I opted for one set of white, light filtering blinds set at 50% transparency, which provides privacy in daylight but also lets some light through. Here's a close-up of the material after it was fitted. The choice is yours, of course, given these are custom made, with the company offering 100% blackout shades alongside light filtering shades at 70% and 50%. These blinds are offered in a decent, if a tad austere, selection of colours, as seen here. This is also the case for zebra shades, woven wood shades, and their outdoor shades. When you get your package, all the relevant details are printed on a label stuck to the blinds, including the motor type, dimensions, and fabric type and colour. These particular blinds use a type of bracket that fits to the track at the top of the blinds. This makes them easy to fit to a ceiling and doesn't require very accurate placement, which I find with the types of fittings for some other blinds like these. These are so easy to fit. When I installed the blinds, I couldn't believe it had actually worked first time. I'm not going to show the physical install, but it is very easy. With the 3 provided mounting brackets fitted, I now have to just remove the previous blinds motor, which in this case was the Aqara E1. To be fair, this has served me very well for the last year and a half, but it's now being replaced by the remote that controls the blinds, which is a little bit more discreet. We already have a valance to hide the blinds, but SmartWings offer 2 optional valance types, with a cassette model that features the same material as the blinds for a more continuous look. The motor has a USB-C port for recharging the battery, but the company also offer an optional solar panel to keep the motor permanently charged if you don't want the hassle of charging it every 6 months or so. With the blinds installed, I just did a quick test with the remote to make sure it was all working as expected, and as you can see, it's super responsive. The upper and lower limits are already set up for me, so I didn't have to set those up, which is normally the case. The motor also has a feature that gently slows as it approaches fully open or closed, which you also see with Eve Motion blinds. Onto smart home integration, and aside from the code on the top, there's another Matter code on the bottom rail. However, this QR code doesn't come with the digits and could wear away, so I suggest using an app called HomePass, which alongside storing the code will also reveal the 11-digit code when storing it. There's a link to the app in the description. Adding the blinds to HomeKit using the Matter code was easy as always, and you get all the same features you'd expect of smart blinds just as if it were a standard HomeKit product. As this uses Matter, to add it to other platforms you need to turn on pairing mode, which will then generate a new separate code for use with those additional platforms. I was also able to add it to SmartThings, although it did take a couple of attempts unfortunately, and it also warned me the device was not officially certified, as this is a beta product. You get open, close and pause buttons as well as battery life. I did try adding it to Google Home, but as it's not certified yet, it wouldn't allow me to add it via Matter. So for now it's connected in the old manner via my SmartThings account. Let's now see reaction times in each of these platforms and their apps. In Apple Home, the reaction times are as good as I'd expect and quite responsive, although they'll never be as fast as when it uses the remote. In SmartThings, the reaction time was just as good, although for some reason it will show as opening when it's closing and vice versa until the blinds have stopped, where it'll then show the correct position. In Google Home, reaction times, despite being controlled via the cloud and not Matter, were almost comparable, so I have to say it's quite impressive even then. Speaking of comparisons, I also have some Eve motion blinds that I've had in the home for nearly 18 months. These use similar light filtering material, so it's a good choice for comparison. Eve motion blinds currently use HomeKit over Thread, not Matter, although there should be an update coming for these motors at some point. In terms of speed, the Eve covers 6.5 centimeters per second, with SmartWings only fractionally ahead at 6.55 centimeters per second. In terms of motor noise, the Eve was slightly quieter at 40 dB on average and SmartWings at 45 dB, but they're both pretty quiet anyway. Some other comparisons to think of next, and aside from SmartWings being the first to come with Matter over Thread, both do offer free worldwide shipping, although the company my motion blinds were from, Omnia Smart Blinds in Sweden, do offer a wider selection of coverings than SmartWings. Motion blinds also come with small tassels for easy on-device control. SmartWings do offer 2 valance options, which Omnia Smart Blinds don't, and when going to both websites to place orders for like-for-like products, SmartWings came out around $85 cheaper. There are of course more things to consider than these points, so it's not easy to say which is better, and even then whether these differences are enough besides price, but hopefully it helps. Finally, onto the pros and cons, and even though it's still in beta, I'm glad to see SmartWings being proactive with Thread. They did actually approach me 2 years ago with some Bluetooth blinds, but at the time I politely declined, stating that Thread was where they should be headed. Buying smart blinds from places like IKEA is going to be cheaper, but you get what they sell, take it or leave it. If you want total customization, it's hard to complain when you get exactly what you want, which is the price of entry. I was really impressed that the blinds were already set up as soon as they were installed, with no need for either pairing the remote or setting the upper and lower limits. This goes hand in hand with the physical installation, which due to the type of brackets used made this one of the easiest blind installations I've had to deal with. Price is always going to be a factor, of course, and after pitting SmartWings against an Eve motion blind vendor, I was saving around $85, although this could vary depending on where you live and your local currency. I really have nothing to complain about so far, but the Matter QR code didn't have the 11-digit code on the label, which could get scratched, making it potentially difficult to scan, so it's wise to make a backup in these cases, even if you were just to take a photo of the code. Given that I wasn't too keen on trying this company's offerings due to them using Bluetooth, I have to say I've been impressed not only by the fact they've moved to Thread and Matter, but the product itself is actually very well made, easy to install and looks great, so really no complaints. So that's our take on SmartWings blinds with Matter over Thread, but if you have any questions or comments or there's something I missed, post it in the comment section below and I'll do my best to reply to them all. As usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And in the meantime, stay safe, and as Confucius once said, before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Ooh, yeah.